Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Guild Wars 1 Let's Play. We are back in Kodash Bazaar on our Ritualist to do the other side of the Brains and Brawn quest. So we are going to pick up this quest really quick here. And since we already went over a lot of the dialogue in the previous episode, it's from this guy. I will just cut to the part, or not cut, but we're just going to walk to the part where it's different. So, brains are brawn. Let's grab the quest. It was hard not to pick Norgu on my Paragon, I'm not going to lie, because I'm worried about not having good classes as we get farther in the game. Because we went with Master's Whispers as well. That means we have Rangers, Warriors, Dervishes. Ugh. Zed has to do so much of the heavy lifting for that. But that's also reminding me that I need to bring I'm actually not sure what I'm going to do with that other Mesmer, to be honest with you. I kind of regret not making one of these, the Ritualist or the Paragon, on my main account. But I don't want to delete the other Mesmer, so... yeah. We'll see. So here's the Senrai the Learner. Brains are bronze again. So, again, the person we want, we have to pick the opposite. So, Goran's strength makes him the clear choice. Muhuda can do the thinking for him. So just a little bit quick TLDR, unless you didn't watch the previous episode, since it's kind of a side story episode. We have the option to send Goran or Norgu off to essentially protect this dude's daughter. He's worried with all the demons and everything going on in the world right now. Fair reason to be worried. So the person who is the opposite that we pick here is the person we get to recruit as a hero. So we pick Goran here. Excellent Goran is. I'm sure Medua will find his strength to be great comfort. I do feel a bit bad about hiring Norgu, though, especially since he's had such a string of bad plays recently. I know, why don't you talk to him? Perhaps sometimes following a real hero will inspire him to write a masterpiece. Alright, let's talk to Norgu. Hi, I was just about to leave for a few scheduled performances. The world may be in chaos, but doesn't mean we entertainers can rest. Talk to me again when you're ready to leave. They say that fortunes favor the foolish. You find none more foolish than I. You see, the fight against Varish against Abaddon Nightfall will be my opus. So with the role of the villain already cast, I shall throw in with your ensemble. But first we must determine if we have chemistry. No spark, no play, you know. So let's go into the breach and perform a Jahur of Attendee Valley. I'll prompt you when needed. Alright. We're actually going to go this way. Originally, I would teleport back to Chantry and walk here, but there's actually an outpost this way that I want to show off, so we're going to make us a little bit of a detour and show off that outpost on the way over. But yeah, Norgu is our companion. And Norgu is quite a silly character. Quite enjoyable. I tend to use him all the time on most of my characters. I don't make the rules, but he does have to be your illusion mesmer. If you have Dom and illusion mesmers, he's supposed to be the illusion mesmer. I don't make the rules. It's just written in the Guild Wars bylaws. I don't know if that's true, but literally every person I've ever talked to, since it's very common for setups for people to run an illusion mesmer to Dom mesmers, since mesmer heroes are, to put it bluntly, the best, at least for offensive heroes. But almost everybody makes Norgu their illusion mesmer. It's just an unwritten rule. It's also kind of funny, not only does the Paragon have worse heroes, the Paragon also as a class does less damage than the Ritualist, so I very much notice the difference between playing on the Ritualist and playing on the Paragon. Really the only weak hero we have is Zenmai, and soon we'll actually be replacing Zenmai with Norgu whenever we get him, so... at that point, besides missions, actually, I probably won't replace Zenmai since she is the one hero from factions, and this is the factions character, so I'll probably keep her I'll probably replace either Susuke or Zed. I'll probably replace Zed, I think. Make Susuke into an air mage. If I haven't ruined him already. No, he's ruined. Oh. Hey, yeah, that's why these characters... Maybe that's why this feels better. That's because the heroes are actually ruined on this character, and I forgot to rune the heroes on the other character. That's probably the main reason why, actually, now that I think about it. So maybe I should go through and do that on the Paragon, rune up all the heroes. Not that it's going to help that much considering the kind of heroes they are, but you know. I guess we won't need the air magic. Oh, he doesn't have a minor energy storage. I guess we won't need the air magic whenever we get the illusion mesmer, so it'll be perfectly fine to swap him. Actually, do we have 3 healers? No, we don't. Okay. Oleus is on a damage build. We could swap Talcora for... Put Oleus on a healer build and then swap Talcora. That's probably what we'll do. Yeah, that's probably what I'll do. Although having the monk is nice for the UA, but realistically the monk healers tend to be a little bit weaker than the necro healers. Not necessarily in terms of healing, but in terms of utility. But anyway, let's look at this outpost. Yahanur Market. So this is one of, I believe there's 2 outposts in this region that are missable. I'll make sure we get the other one before we leave the region. I think we got all the ones in the coast region, unless I think this is just another portal, but there might be another town down there. Actually, wait, so excuse me, we're not on the right character, but I believe we did get all the places here. We got all the places here. But I just want to make sure I show off every outpost. So this is one of the last ones, or one of the few side ones in Vabi that's actually missable. A riverside village, Yahanur has done well for itself as a stopover place for merchants, crafters, and visitors, having uproomed her to the resplendent Makun and the Baka amphitheater. Travelers are advised to bring and hold on to their coin purses. We got a guy with a little bit of some wares here. Nothing really interesting. That's one thing I feel like this game missed an opportunity on. I kind of wish some of the merchants here sold slightly more unique items. I like the kind of like terracing they have going on over there. Kind of cool. This is a place I've never really explored, so we're just gonna have a nice little look around before we continue on with our main quest for the day. Some kids playing. It's a bit more arid area of Vabi compared to some of these other places. Actually, I guess not. It's a bit greener, actually, arguably. But it's pretty cool. It's an outpost that doesn't really have much going on. I don't even think there's a quest here. But it's very interesting nonetheless. Pretty cool. Pretty cool little plaza area here. There's a skills vendor down here. There's a ship here that presumably goes up and down the Elon. Can we get on the ship? I don't think we can get on the ship, sadly. Nope, we cannot get on the ship. We can go out to the water's edge, though, and hang out. Are there any fishies or anything? There's a water sound effect here that I don't think I've ever heard almost anywhere else. So, interesting. There's like braziers there. Skills vendor. Don't think he has anything super interesting for us. Oh, that was that water feature there that was making that noise. Well, one of the noises. But anyway, let's go on out and do this play with Norgu. So we are in an area of Vitendi Valley, which is the one nighttime zone. We're in a different area of it, though. This time going through. Kind of cool. Come on. Die. Ah, we're up here near these farms that I pointed out quite a few episodes ago, I guess, at this point, actually. Thankfully, Norgu meets us at the place, so we don't have to, like, protect him or anything the whole way there. Oh, boy. I'm gonna clear out this top area first here, just so we don't run into any problems. I think we gotta get to a bridge. Yeah, we gotta get to a bridge that's over there, so... Spirits put in work. And when things stack up, Oleus can do so much damage. This is a skill I always kind of underestimated as a kid. And like a setup that I never thought was very good, but I don't have it on now, but eventually whenever Toolbox was invented, which if you don't know what Toolbox is a program made much later in Guild Wars' life. That's more or less a gray area. More or less you're allowed to use it. And it has a lot of useful features in it. Think of it as like add-ons for World of Warcraft. But it has a lot of cool features like being able to zoom the camera out more, or like auto pop consumables, or ooh, a little bit of a lag spike there. Other like various semi-useful features, but one of the main useful features obviously is that it actually has a DPS meter built into it. And I think a lot of times that DPS meter is kind of what has me now kind of settled on a lot of the builds and the setups I like to use, at least on my heroes. On myself, I never really cared. You just kind of do whatever. But definitely one of the builds that I appreciated much later in my Guild Wars career as we had access to stuff like DPS meters is this this Icy Veins hero. It does a lot of damage, like on par with like E-Surge heroes, and E-Surge are some of the highest damaging heroes in the game, oftentimes dealing very similar damage to even some of the better player builds, unless you're like building your entire team around the player doing damage. So like if you have a whole, like, you know, 3 buffers, they're not gonna out damage it, but like just going pound for pound, a lot of time your E-Surge heroes will be very, very significant portions of your damage, of your team's damage. So the fact that this is a build that doesn't need you to be on a Mesmer character, or doesn't need doesn't take up one of your Mesmers, but still does very competitive damage, and also has the option to run some other utilities like Enfeebling Blood or Remove Hex or some Paragon Shouts, is really nice, and it really lessened my desire to grab stuff like the mercenary heroes. I think there's another build that is... I think this Thunderclap build as well is another build that I really also came to appreciate with that. Technically a variant of it. There's a Blinding Surge variant of the build that I used for a while whenever I didn't have all 3 Mesmers. That was pretty good, but I think the Thunderclap version's a little bit better. But yeah, Toolbox, if you haven't played in a long time, I think it's somewhere on the wiki. I'm not actually sure where you find it nowadays. I remember when it was being made, but I don't have it anymore. But there's a link somewhere out there if you want to find it. It is a little bit of a gray area, like I said, but the only ban that we know of for related to Toolbox was because the person was doing other things and just kind of blamed Toolbox. So I'm like 99% sure at this point it's safe, especially because, you know, obviously how old the game is. But it's a really cool tool, and it lets you do a lot of fun things, definitely, if you're an active player still, you don't know about it. Or if you want to come back and play the game and you want to mess around with it, it might be fun for you. But anyway, performing is the most heroic act imaginable. Performing solo is even more heroic. My fellow guild members should already be here. Something is amiss. Quick, help me write a new scene before I go on. I don't know what happened to my fellow actors, but show must go on. It shall be gloriously heroic. Luckily, these are simple folk in genre. Only as a stalwart hero, a villain of pure evil, and a brave way for the hero to slay the villain. Some creative advice who real heroes really sell it. Sure, last thing I checked. Sure, I'm a real hero last time I checked. Who is the hero? Norgu can be the hero. What evil does the hero have to fight? An evil lich lord, a disgruntled pie master, a dark forgotten god, a pie master. What did the hero do? Smote the evil atop a volcano, defeat the evil with minty fresh breath, destroy the evil in an FX trouble, then with a magnificent death blow on top of a volcano. Thanks with your advice. I'm sure it'll be the best performance of my career. Welcome one and all. I'm the famous Norgu. Tonight I also perform a short but riveting piece I wrote myself with the help of my most heroic friends here. A brave Norgu adventuring with many other brave companions did come upon a great and unthinkable evil of pure evilness. Norgu knew the enemy must be destroyed, for it was destroying the countryside. The peasants were sad and almost dead. Was this evil that is killing us and making us sad? They cried. It was a disgruntled pie master, most vile and evil the world has ever seen. But our heroic hero could not face the evil yet. First he had to go to quest for glory, overcoming many hard obstacles along the way, before ultimately returning to the village, which is nearly but not quite destroyed there. Norgu smote the evil on top of a volcano. Oh, how the peasants who had not yet been eaten by the evil rejoiced. They were glad in their heart of hearts that such a hero was in the realm and that the evil was not in the realm anymore. Whew, that wasn't too bad if I do say myself. That was terrible. Please, no tips. Money only cheapens the performance. Food, on the other hand, is a different story. The five gods help us. That's worse than the brave lantern tripe they performed earlier this year. Stick to Bacchus free buffets, Norgu. Come, this might turn ugly. We should hurry to Poja Estates. Perhaps there we can find news about my ill-timed guild members. Please, no money. I will gladly take food, though. I'm kind of hungry. Norgu's like, what would be the real life equivalent of a Norgu? He's like kind of charismatic and people kind of like him despite the fact that everything he makes is kind of crap. He's like The Rock, but fat. Let's not be fat shaming him. That's literally part of his character. Lord knows I can't say anything about rotund individuals. Let's go see if we can find his guildmates and see why they didn't show up. Going to a new place in Vitendi Valley that we had never been before. Hey, to be fair, it was better than that Cornin play we watched in Bacchus Amphitheater, so at least Norgu, you got that. You did slightly better than the people who were just pretending to be performers. Good on you. Alright, we're coming up on this place, the something estates. Oof. A little bit of lag there too. Don't know what's going on. Hopefully we don't have to kill people. Or as many people. But it looks like there's a lot of Cornins in the area, so that's not does not bode well. This seems to be like where the Cornins have claimed a residence, if you will. There's some Hecate down there, some Fabian guards. It's a pretty cool area. I don't remember if it's used for anything else, but it's a cool little area up here in this northern section of the Vitendi Valley. Actually, I think General Pulkok. Interesting. Johan Plight, a Sunspear Scout. What's up here? Oh, is this a portal into this is where that portal in the Kodesh Bazaar leads to. This is a pretty cool area. I don't think I probably have seen this before, but I don't remember it. It's a pretty cool little zone. The Kodesh Bazaar is pretty cool in that it kind of spills out into the explorable zones around it. Makes it feel like more alive, you know? But it's a pretty cool feature. I like that in games whenever cities like kind of spill out of like just their instances and stuff like that. It makes them feel more alive. I got back into, or I'm trying to get back into like Skyrim again, because I've just had the itching for a good old single player RPG. And one of the things I like there is the mods and stuff that add areas outside of the cities, just because it makes them feel more alive. Uh-oh, that's not good. There should be actors here, but instead we have a manner of evil things. Well, we can still give this me a chance to sign the spotlight, see how I can perform in other ways. Have yet, ye vile monsters. Well, that was quite heroic. Now before I stop with your troop of contagious heroes, can I trouble you for one last favor? Could you visit the Writing Guild of Vabi to register our entire upcoming experience and return from our adventures? I wish to perform highlights for the entire world. After that, my skill are yours. This upcoming adventure shall be my greatest performance yet, my magnus opus, if you will. So we killed these Hecate, but they never mention what the hell actually happens to his friends. I presume they're dead. I presume that's the assumption. But they don't actually say anything about it, so it's just a little weird that we just come here and kill this group of Hecate and then we're done. Here's a little dock along the river. Just coming down here to get a nice good view. Pretty cool. Alright, let's go back to Kodesh Bazaar. Records Keeper Palin. Another play from Norgu. You don't want to know how his last one played out, believe me. Well, if you want to sell the rights to your story, that's your business. But you asked Norgu about his other play, The Epic Tale of the Brave Lanterns, Part 1. A classically trained actor and the de facto leader of the Listen Fools acting troupe, Norgu's a boisterous glad handler who never met a buffet table he didn't like. Norgu. Let's get him a nice build real quick. Where is my ineptitude hero? There we go. But with that, I think we're going to call it for today. I want to thank you all for coming out, and in the next episode we will be back continuing on with the main journey. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.